So this is gonna be my top 6 perks in Cold War Zombies. Now, I just want to go over a couple things. So first thing is this list may be outdated soon, seeing that Tombstone's gonna be added, and highly doubt this, but they could also update some of the perks in the game already, such as Jug or Stamina. So if those are updated, that's that. But I also want to say this is gonna be from my experience. I train in the yard, and as a result, perks like Stamina Up will be more useful in Speakola. Whereas if you camp in your gameplay, Speakola will have more significance than Stamina Up. So keep in mind, this is going to be from my experience training in the yard. And I've also just gone through some playthroughs up to like round 50, using just certain perks like Jug or Stamina Up combined. I've gotten rid of Elemental Pop, just haven't used Speed Cola, just to figure out how useful some perks really are. So I'll try and keep this as accurate as I can to an overall standing. But I don't want to hold much more time back. Let's start getting into the actual perks. So the things that Speed Cola does is allow you to swap weapons faster, your field upgrades recharge 20% faster, as well as reload faster by about 30%, I think. Now, swapping weapons quicker, completely useless from my experience. It doesn't really improve anything necessarily. The reduced time in a field upgrade recharge, that is kind of nice, but often, more than not, I don't really notice much anyways. It's just, I don't really use my Ring of Fire if the Megaton's in, seeing that a ray gun and the shotguns primarily I will use if I go to high rounds. They will still just fly, just go right through the zombies. So, through my gameplay with that field upgrade, I could have recharged by the time the Megaton came back in. And then, just the most useful part of this perk is the reload speed. Having that increased by 30% is quite nice for shotguns, LMGs, and the ray gun even. For guns like assault rifles, where you can just have a speed mag attached to your weapon off the bat, you don't really notice anything significant. It's already quick enough. So, as a result, it's not necessary. But it's definitely a nice perk. It's probably the last perk I'd go for. But keep in mind that it's definitely not the first one you want to go for, or anywhere near there. But let's move on to the fifth one. So seeing Elemental Pop here, surprised to many I think, but let me explain myself real quickly. So, in terms of upgrading the perk, so level 1, 2 to 3, probably the most drastic increase, and every level adds a nice bonus to the perk. You're rewarded nicely, you're rewarded kindly, if you will. But, let's talk about it like this. So, equipment can activate ammo mods. It's a nice touch, not massive, but it's nice. Ammo mod cooldown goes down 20%. That's quite nice as well. Lastly is any ammo mod can activate any, or not any, just every ammo mod in the game. So you have Cryo, you can activate Deadwire. Vice versa, you can just activate everything, and that's the biggest increase in my opinion. But here's why I put Elemental Pop down here. If every ammo mod was great, or well, not necessarily great, but at least decent, damn well this would probably be third or second. But not every one of them are. The only good one, in my opinion, is Deadwire. It's the only really good one. And I'll explain furthermore. Cryo only freezes zombies. Does nothing. It's useless. Napalm can do a lot of damage to one zombie. I don't know about megatons, but pretty much just one zombie. Brain Rot can get a few kills, but can also be an asshole and get in the way of your training pattern. So you can get trapped by it. So you have to be careful. And it can also get a lot of zombie if it's a retard. But other than that, you see what I mean? If you just get Deadwire, you're pretty much set anyways. You don't necessarily need Elemental Pop. It's kind of just a nice not incentive. It's just a nice little bonus later into the game. So, I really just don't know what else to say. I've just explained why it's not necessary. So I'm just gonna move on to the fourth perk. So I had a hard time deciding between Deadshot and Quick Revive here, but I put Quick Revive here. So I should have mentioned at the start, it's also going to be based off of a solo playthrough, so I apologize for not saying that. But Quick Revive is better than the others, and I'll explain why. So when you get to the higher rounds, so like 50 to 60, without armor, the zombies, they will do about 90 damage, so that's a lot of health, and being able to regenerate that a lot quicker than normal is almost a necessity. If I didn't have Quick Revive when I went for around 100 on one of my attempts, I probably would have died. I'm not kidding you, I probably would have died. But other than that, when you're playing solo, there's not really any other use, because the rest is co-op. You revive quicker, you, what's it called? You crawl faster, and lastly, when you revive a teammate, you get all your health back. So it's a great perk for co-op. I'd probably place it above Deadshot, but we're talking solo, and when it's solo, more useful than the other perks only because you can get your health back a lot quicker. And when the zombies are doing a lot more damage to you, that's kinda useful. It's almost a necessity at the high rounds. But nothing else to really explain. I gave its strong point. So Deadshot, I'm gonna say, is gonna take the third place, and it's just because it has a nice variety of things. So most useless of all, it completely berids of sniper scopes away. So who the hell actually really wants to use a sniper in this anyways? Unless you want 360 no scope a zombie for fun. Now the first thing you'll get is also, it will automatically aim you to the head. That's very useful if you're going for a diamond in zombies. But let's actually get into the actually useful parts of the perk, I would say. So the first bit, I would say, or the least useful rather, is your hipfire spread is tightened. That is quite nice for shotguns in my opinion. That's about it. Maybe LMGs, or if you just don't really have an accuracy based class. Next is, I think you do 50% more damage to armor plates. That's quite useful for the heavy zombies. Lastly, you do 100% more damage to a zombie if you shoot them in the head while they're still at full health. That is massive. Yeah, if you don't have any perks like elemental pop or even ammo mods, being able to do that much more damage can be amazing. For instance, the Howler 77, I think it is, or however the hell you say a pump action shotgun. When I went for round 100, I was using that and the ray gun. It was only double packed, and I was still able to one-shot zombies to the head. Round 73 plus. It's honestly a very nice perk when you're going for the high rounds, because you're not dependent on ammo mods. You can still get a lot more kills with your gun itself. So because of that, I'm going to place it in the third position. But I think we all know which is going to be second now. So second up is Stamina Up. A trainer's delight, or just a delight for training. So you run faster and for longer. You can backpedal 100% faster if I'm correct. So just basic walking speed when you're looking forwards. You gain immunity to fall damage. And lastly, you get a 30% increase to your running speed or something. Overall running speed. Not from what you already get in the perk. But all around, just being able to be as fast as you can and to be as agile as you can in this game is important, considering the fact you can jump over basically everything. So being able to not take damage from falling, very nice if you're in the particle accelerator or by the crash site. And just being able to run fast as possible, or just really fast, very good when you're in the yard, for instance, because you can just bolt across, turn around and shoot them, and they're not going to be right behind you. So if you understand where I'm going, very useful perk from my experience. It's helped me stay alive, it's helped me get a lot more kills, it's helped me to get the higher rounds a lot quicker. So Jog is easily the best perk in the game, and if you think otherwise, you're a complete idiot. I honestly despise your existence. I'm going to explain why it's the best perk. So one is that status, so the status effects, duration of that reduced by 50%. So as annoying as play counts, they won't piss you off for much longer, or as long rather. Next is the armor plates on the ground. They replenish 25% more armor. Now at the higher rounds where you can't just easily get to the armor stand, very useful, because from my experience, these asshole zombies will take out about a third of your overall armor with every hit. So being able to get more armor back from zombies drops, very useful. But lastly, and the most useful part of this perk, is you gain 100 health overall. So from your 150 health, you go to 250. And I cannot explain how many times this has kept me alive. Because, like I said earlier, zombies at the higher rounds, if you don't have armor, will do 90 damage. So, considering the fact that they can 2-hit you, quite scary. Not even that, but even if you don't have Jug, the Megatons at these rounds, high rounds, they do, I think, 225 damage without armor. So if you lose that armor, you're almost screwed entirely. But this perk, it likes to say no. It likes to show some mercy in this game. And that's why I think it's the best perk. Now, I just want to say one last thing before I end this video. I will make an updated version of this. I'll make a top 10 perks, or however many perks they add, by the end of the game's life cycle. So up until then, I will not be making an updated version. Seeing that, adding one whole perk and then making a whole ass video about that whole perk, you know, just it seems impractical. I'd rather just wait for them to add every perk they want and then just do a fully updated section of it. I think it makes the most sense to me. But as of now, I hope you can agree with this list. Tombstone's coming in soon. That'll be good for my bad friends, or, you know, the guys that die somehow in round 17. Stuff like that, or just randoms. I think they will gladly enjoy that perk. But with all being said, I hope all that watches this video has an amazing day.